All right, we're here with Landry Shamet. And Landry, next month, June 20th and 21st, you're coming back to Wichita for your basketball camps. And what did it mean for you to come back to Wichita instead of just having it only in Kansas City?
Yeah, I mean, it was important because, obviously growing up in Kansas City was, that was my foundation, I guess, and family and where I'm from and what I call home. But a big chunk of my heart's here in Wichita. I kind of turned into a man here and kind of led me to, this phase of my life I'm in right now. So I think it was important, obviously, Wichita State, that goes without being said, have, incredible support and fans. And, I still remember like the camps we worked there that were a lot of fun to, interact with the kids. So it was just important for me to, come back as kind of a thank you and, just a reason for me to get back in town because I know there's not much time for me to make it back here. So I think it was a cool opportunity to do a camp, get involved in the community, give back to the community. We're going to be working with, Boys and Girls Club of South Central Kansas. So that's exciting too, to be able to donate proceeds of the camp to that. So it was just a good opportunity in general just to kind of come back here, say thank you, show face, and just be around.
Yeah, show the love, and they're excited to have you back, especially next month for those 2 days. And in camps, I don't know, this is your first one that you've run as an NBA guy, and it's fun to watch when guys from the league come back and put on camps, and they show no mercy to the campers. Throw some dunks on them, hit a couple threes in their eye,
block a couple shots. It'll be fun. Just kind of do your thing a little bit.
Yep. And you just wrapped up your rookie season, and today you were named to the second team of the NBA AllRookie Team. What does that mean to you, and how cool is that to think, just a year ago you were here and now you're getting that honor?
Yeah, it's cool recognition. Cool to definitely be recognized, for like the work you do put in. And me personally, I'm not huge on like accolades and stuff. I never have been, but it is cool. You always acknowledge it, and me, I take it with a grain of salt a little bit, but it is still nonetheless an honor for sure. Not many guys get that honor, so I'm definitely gonna cherish it. It's pretty cool accolade I got to kind of put in my back pocket, so it's exciting.
And so first season is in the books, and did you have a welcome to the league kind of moment where you step back and you're like, whoa, we're here, like this is it?
I think it was, so Derrick Rose was my favorite player growing up.
Yeah.
And I had a couple moments where I had to like pinch myself, but Derrick Rose was the biggest. I remember when we played them and, I was matched up on him. And he was coming in transition, and I was thinking the whole time, like, wow, this is Derrick Rose. I grew up watching this guy. I had his jersey. He was my favorite player, MVP, all these things. And I'm, thinking about all that, and I go to guard him, and he like shakes me in transition, gets to the lane, and makes a layup. So I was like, okay, I gotta figure this out. Try to actually guard this guy a little bit, not look
take
like
a deep breath. Yeah, let's get back in the game here.
So there are moments like that. More so where you're just, on the same stage as guys you grew up, watching, idolizing, wanting to be like, wanting to see what it was like to be in their shoes, and then now, you're there.
Playing against them.
Yeah.
And whether it be, I don't know, Philadelphia or Los Angeles, was there a guy or player, person that helped you the most this year, whether it be playing against them or on your teams? Or
JJ was instrumental for me as just a role model. Obviously, I learned a ton from him playing JJ Reddick, and he, just how he played and moved and, was effective. He's not the most athletic guy, he's not the biggest guy, and, he still found ways to be effective and was just a consummate pro, So he was great for me. Still have a good relationship with him. But yeah, he was definitely my vet, I think, this year.
Lean on,
Yeah.
And Patrick Beverley, is he as awesome in person as he is, as
He's
guys
great.
are watching on TV, as he goes
great.
crazy, the pest and getting in there?
Yeah, the guy you hate if he's not on your team, love if he's on your team. I remember, playing against them before I got traded, and there was one possession he just decided to go out of his way and like shoulder check me in the stomach just to,
just to let you know he was there.
Just to do it, and I told him, I asked him if he remembered. He was like, oh yeah, I remember doing that to you. I was seeing where your head was at, like you were playing well, blah blah blah. I wanted to see where your head was at. So he's a great guy. The type of guy that calls you on your birthday. He doesn't just shoot you a text or like downplay it or anything. We talked on the phone the other day. So he's a really genuine guy, good guy, a good veteran to have on your team.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely good to have in the locker room and everything. Keep everyone together. And then, of course, the Warriors, they just swept the Blazers, get into another NBA Finals. Was it crazy to think, within a year span, you went from Wichita State to guarding and playing against, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and all those guys?
Yeah, I mean, it just shows, a lot can happen in a really short period of time. A lot can change. It is crazy, but at this point, it's like it's kind of my normalcy now, which is cool to be able to say. But I mean, you still look back at how far I've come, even from my last foot injury and not knowing if I would play the whole season last year, and then being able to play from game one at Wichita State all the way through, finish up my last season there, and have the opportunity to leave early and make something happen for myself. And I got a lot of mixed reactions from people about whether I should leave or shouldn't leave. I remember reading all of it and hearing about all of it, but ultimately feel like I made the right decision, and it worked out for me.
Yeah, obviously, did a lot of great things this year, whether it be the 8 threes in a game or hitting the three for the biggest NBA comeback in history. It's been a lot of fun to watch this year. You kind of touched on it there. How tough was that decision for you? Thinking back a year ago, and obviously it's worked back in hindsight, but was there some back and forth with you and your family and everything? Or was it like, all right, I'm ready to go?
So I didn't really acknowledge it until the end of the year. That's just how I operated. I didn't want to ever be, feel like I was focused on something outside of, the task at hand, which was, Wichita State basketball, and how are we going to get wins, and how, am I going to help this team win? That was my whole outlook. I felt like I would have been cheating myself and the program and my teammates, if I was, talking to agents and worried about this and that. I tried not to acknowledge it till the end of the year. And when I did, though, I remember talking to Fred, and he told me, he was like, look, man, you're good enough to do it. You got to do what's best for you and your family, and what's going to set you up, and be what's best for you. And once you come to terms with the fact that it's probably not going to go exactly how you plan, and some things are going to go wrong and not ideal or whatever, once you come to terms with that fact and you understand it's what you want to do, it's an easy decision.
Yeah.
So I remember him telling me that, and that stuck with me.
Weight lifted off your shoulder.
Yeah, for sure. Because I would have had no idea what he got traded halfway through my rookie year, or kind of gone through a couple of the lulls and the little slumps I went through this year. But in hindsight, it was the best decision for me.
Yeah, and was getting traded, and is never fun or never easy, but it's kind of part of the business. But being your rookie season, did it make it a little tougher, you think, just because you're kind of figuring out where you are in the league, and then okay, go across the country?
Overnight, yeah. So that was definitely the toughest aspect of it, just being a rookie and still learning and trying to figure out, what life is like in the NBA, what does my life look like in the NBA, and getting comfortable, and feeling like I was just getting comfortable in Philadelphia and just had carved out a role, was playing well, we were playing well, and it was tough, but I'm glad it happened when it did. This early on, I was a little naive to the business aspect of things, and what it's all about really there. And I feel like moving forward, whatever hits me, will be easy in regards to that. Because getting a phone call at 2 in the morning and telling you you're gonna move your life across the country overnight was definitely not something easy to deal with. So.
Big hurdle, right away.
Yeah, that early. So, I'm glad it happened when it did.
Yeah, and the Clippers, they were the 8th seed this year. There's got a lot of young pieces, and you got a great coach like Doc Rivers. How excited are you for the future moving forward now with them?
Yeah, this summer will be exciting, just to see our growth and how guys get better and how we get better as a group, and what we can potentially add this offseason, personnel that could help make us that much better, and hopefully bringing back as much of what we had as we can. So, I'm excited. We have good staff and leadership in the front office, and all the way down to coaches, all the way down to staff, and throughout our whole locker room. So I think that's the biggest thing. They have a very good culture built there. It's just a matter of, can we add a couple pieces to our already good group to hopefully extend our winning.
Yeah. And when you get back in the gym this summer, what's something that you're working on most to get a little bit better, or that you want to see yourself improve on?
Yeah, so, people who watched me here when I played my last year here in Wichita, I was like a point guard, played with the ball in my hands all the time, That's like all I did. But then this last year in the NBA with both teams, the Sixers and the Clippers, it was all off the ball, moving. I played like 2 games at the one, where I got like significant minutes at the one all year. And so it was a very different role. So I think getting back to, refining all my skills on the ball, playmaking, making plays off the bounce, doing kind of more of what I was doing in college, just because, naturally if you're not doing it as often, it can regress and go the opposite direction a little bit. So that's my biggest thing, that getting stronger, putting some weight on. I'm like a little guy in my profession, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a couple
things.
things.
We're all really short, so you're good. TV, it's,
you can
monster.
Make it work.
Yeah. And speaking about all the Wichita State and getting ready for, talked about your choices that you made for the NBA, but looking back, Marcus McDuffie, you played with him for 2 years, and now he's kind of going through that same process of, trying to get to the pros. Do you think he kind of has what it takes to be at that next level?
He's got the body. He's got, he's about as skilled as they come. Very talented.
Guy, yeah.
He's big. He's got the size. It's just a matter of fit. NBA is all about fit and teams finding needs for you. So if he finds a good spot and a team that's going to be able to, grow him and wants him and, can see him fitting with them, then it's going to be great. It's all about fit. So I think knowing Marcus and having talked to him, he works hard enough to where I think he'll make something happen for himself. It's just a matter of fit and opportunity, and it comes at, different times. So.
Yeah, timing's everything kind of with that. You have to find the right spot, and especially if you don't go drafted and sometimes it could be a better thing, though, for guys that are looking to get into the league.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all I have. Do you want to add anything about the camps or anything that you have going on next month?
Yeah, so June 20th and 21st, at Wichita Hoops. That's going to be from 10 to 2 both days. We're going to have T-shirts, lunch provided daily. Do like an autograph and picture session at the end.
After they get dunked on.
After they get dunked on, yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna do that. The proceeds from that, like I said, will go to the Boys and Girls Club, South Central Kansas. Just I think is important because there's a lot of kids who are, less fortunate that need role models. Like me, coming from a single parent home. I think there were a lot of people sprinkled into my life at convenient times to where I needed them. And so I think it's cool what Boys and Girls Club does to, do that for kids. So I think it's, important to help them out. And then also at Chicken and Pickle on the 20th, we're going to do a cool like Q&A event there where you can go to their website, get tickets. Proceeds from that will also go to the Boys and Girls Club. So it's like a Q&A opportunity just to come say, hey, ask me whatever questions people have, which I'm sure there's a lot of them.
Plenty, yeah.
And just a cool little event there, and Chicken and Pickle's obviously a really cool spot. So it's a lot to be excited about. Yeah, in like middle school and high school.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I'll even get down and you never know. Come out and.
And I know you're young and you're just in the first year, but you kind of mentioned the role model aspect of it. Is that something you don't take very lightly? That that you understand that there's a lot of kids, not only here or in KC, but across the nation that look up and see you on playing basketball.
And even if it's not a direct conversation with the kid, they're watching you and how you carry yourself and what you say in situations like this, and how even how if you're walking on the street or whatever, you're always, especially today with like social media and stuff, you never know. Like you're always in the limelight and always, liable to be seen. And I take it very seriously, like just because I understand where I was, as a kid, and the shoes I walked in, and the people I looked up to, and who I wanted to be like, and how I got to where I'm at by watching the right people, and I think it's important. So anytime I get opportunity to impact the kid's life, I try to say the right things and tell them what's real and what they need to know. So I love that aspect of it.
That's awesome. It's good to have.
For sure.
Appreciate it. All right, Russ, that's it.